Summer, it's in full swing, and guess what? So is the Friends of Extension Garden Show. It's coming up this weekend, and if you want to learn how to grow, we've got tickets for you to the show. We are going to tell you all about it coming up after the break.
And 15th, the Friends of Extension Garden Tour invites you to take in the beauty and learn all you can about gardening.
Yeah, the 2018 Fox Garden Tour is the main source of fundraising for the Friends of Extension organization. Now, a ticket will give you access to both days of the garden tour, plus the chance to learn from gardening experts. And right now, Lauren McDonald, our gardening expert, is live and local with a preview. Lauren, good morning.
It's a bold statement, Craig. Not so sure I'm a gardening expert, but yeah. I do have to tell you that I have plants this weekend, and you should too, because the 8th annual Friends of Extension Garden Show is happening, and right now we are getting a special preview with Joan Newsbaum, and you are a master gardener.
Yes.
You're actually the organizer of this whole tour.
Yes.
And this is one of the stops on the tour.
That's right.
Happening this weekend. So kind of give everybody an idea of what they'll experience if they purchase a ticket to this garden show.
So the ticket will give you entry into 10 different gardens. One of them is the Old Farm Community Garden. And if you've never seen a large, well-run community garden, that is one of them. Every home has a theme.
Right.
The theme at my home will be drip irrigation, and we'll also show you some ways to manage rainwater.
Right. So not only are people going to be able to look at all of your beautiful gardens, but they're also going to be able to learn from you, which is
exactly
awesome.
We will have master gardeners in the garden to answer questions.
Very nice. Okay, so we're talking about your theme right now, which is drip irrigation, right?
Yes.
Okay, so kind of explain how that works. You really kind of manage your water. It's not, water is important, but it's important to not waste it as well.
Right, right. So drip irrigation helps you get the water right to the plant. This is my container garden by my front door, and I have a timer connected to my spigot. There's a Y, so I can still have a hose. Here's the timer, and as you set it, you set the time, the clock, the time that you want the water to come on, how long you want it to run, how often. So mine is every 12 hours. It runs about 5 minutes, and I can turn that down to as low as 1 minute.
Okay.
So it depends on the heat, if the plant is root bound, how much water the plants need. And then if I need to turn it off for a reason, I can do that.
And where can people get something like this?
You can go to your local garden center and just ask them for a
drip irrigation
timer. Actually, it can be used on a hose as well. If you have a hose running to a vegetable garden, you can set a timer on that.
Great way to save money too.
Yeah,
right?
and the drip lines, this drip line actually goes up to my hanging plants.
Okay.
So I can take a drip line to just about anywhere I need it.
Right. Plants can get water whenever they need. Okay, so you want me to try to set this?
Sure.
All right, so you give me what you want.
All right, so the clock is already set.
Okay.
Turn it to start time.
Start time.
And then push the plus button to maybe 8 o'clock.
Okay.
If you hold it down, it'll go fast.
I see.
All right. And then if you turn
8:05. Is that all right?
That's all right.
Okay.
Then if you turn it to how often, let's see what's next. How long?
Okay.
Let's go 3 minutes. So you want to push the minus button.
Okay.
And then how often? Let's do.
Going to be a hot one today, right?
I guess so.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't want to go for me.
All right. Well, that's fine.
We do 6?
That's great.
Let's meet in the middle.
And we can always change it.
And then
go to auto. And it's ready to go. It also has a rain turn off if you want to, if it's rained a lot. You can push rain and it won't come on for 24 hours.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to do that with my sprinklers.
Right. You can do that. And a manual, if you need to test it or turn it on for a reason, you can just turn on manual.
Very nice. All right. Well, Joan is going to be guiding us through her garden all morning long, also telling us all the wonderful things that we can learn and see and do this weekend at the 8th annual Friends of Extension Garden Show. So I'm excited. I'm ready to learn some things, and I'm ready for my garden to grow.
That is some serious gardening going on right there. Wow.
I know.
She blew our mind. We're not very
tech savvy.
Yeah, or garden savvy. At least I'm not. So.
Or sprinkler savvy.
But it's so easy. It's so easy.
All right. Yeah,
Good luck, Lard.
Yeah, really. All right. Thank you. Very interesting. Okay. 5:47 right now. Let's go.
Speaking of hurricanes, it is time to use the rain and your brain to help sustain. We're going to explain live and local coming up next.
The 2018 Friends of Extension Garden Tour is back this weekend.
Yeah, the show has been a big hit since 2011 and continues to grow each year. So with multiple gardens to see and enjoy, plus tips from master gardeners, the show is one you do not want to miss. And right now, Lauren McDonald, live and local, and she is digging it, Lauren, this morning. Yeah, how's it going?
I'm going to show you what I'm digging. This garden is what we're digging. That's because it is completely watered by rainwater, and we are here right now with Joan Nussbaum. She is the organizer of a garden show that you do not want to miss this weekend. Friends of Extension Garden Show. You guys do this every year since 2011, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So it grows, it's bigger and better each year. 10 stops this year, and your focus here is drip irrigation, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
watering, and each stop has a different theme.
That's right.
So right now, we're going to talk about rainwater, because you have a rainwater garden.
Yes. So the rainwater garden is a project that is explained at the website for the Colorado Stormwater Center through Colorado State University, and it explains how to achieve a garden that uses rainwater. So this garden is watered through that PVC pipe that you see there, and it comes off of the roof through the pipe. It is not perforated pipe. The bricks there slow the water down, and then it comes out into the garden and hopefully stays there to water the plants, and then percolates down into the soil and doesn't go into the street.
Right.
And so
eliminating waste, right?
Right. Yeah, part of it is the waste. Of course, when we have a huge rain, a lot of it goes down the driveway and into the gutter, but we're trying to collect what we can here. All of the water from my roof either goes into my yard or into rain barrels.
Right. And this is kind of the whole theme, DIY gardening. This is
Yes.
the theme of the tour. This is something people can do easily at home, and there's a manual online that
Yes.
people can find how to do this.
Right, through the Colorado Stormwater Center website.
All right, very nice. Not a great gardener? Guess what? No worries. That's because Joan is rooting for you. She's rooting for me too. Gonna make me into not a master gardener, but maybe a beginner gardener. Because I don't have the best green thumbs, but they're going to start changing colors here pretty soon. Just wait for it.
That's cool. Okay, you're Joan's protege today.
Yes,
That's good.
she's a mini
Yeah.
gardener.
Yeah, I would love to be.
Nice. Okay, Lauren, thank
Lauren.
you. All right, 6:28.
Hey guys, when it comes to summer gardening, don't hesitate. Irrigate. That is what we are doing live and local, previewing the 8th annual Extensions of Friends Garden Show happening this weekend. After the break, we're going to show you how to attach a drip line to a main line. We are live and local coming up next.
7:25. Welcome back to Fox 21 Local News. Save the date, July 14th and 15th. The Friends of Extension Garden Tour invites you to take in the beauty and learn all you can about gardening.
The 2018 Fox Garden Tour is the main source of fundraising for the Friends of Extension organization. Now, a ticket will give you access, of course, to both days of the garden tour, plus plenty of chances to learn from gardening experts. And right now, speaking of experts, Lauren McDonald, boom, doing it right now, live and local with a preview. Good morning.
Flower power. That is what it's all about this morning. And that's what it's going to be all about this weekend at the 8th annual Extensions of Friends Garden Show. And I am here with the gardening expert. Joan, you've been teaching me all kinds of things all morning. And every stop on this tour has a theme. Your theme is drip irrigation. And I think when people think about planting a garden, if they're like me, it's intimidating, right? Because you don't want to kill the flowers. You spend all this money to buy these flowers.
Exactly.
You want to make sure that they live. But you say you don't necessarily have to be a gardening expert to be able to have a nice garden at home, right?
Right. Once you've done it once, you just do it again and again.
Okay, all right. So you're going to teach me right now how to attach a drip line to a main line for a drip irrigation, which sounds very difficult, but you say it's not that hard.
It's very easy. It's very easy. So here's our main water line coming from the house. And what you're going to do is use the punch here to poke a hole into that line.
Okay.
And then we'll attach this to the end of the drip line and the other end into the pipe.
Okay. All right. I don't want to mess up your line here.
You won't mess anything up.
Okay. Okay. On top, on the side?
On the side is good.
Okay, so kind of like there?
Yeah, and just squeeze it really hard.
Okay. Oops. Okay.
All right, let's make sure that there's a good hole. All right, and then push the connector into the end of the drip line first.
Okay.
Now this drip line has inline emitters, and the emitters have a flow rate of about 0.8 of a gallon per hour.
Okay.
Pushing a little bit more.
And you can set these yourself, right?
Yeah, you can attach these. I think you can put, I think it's 12 feet. The instructions on the package tells you. All right, now push that into the main line.
Okay.
And it'll snap when it gets through. There you go.
All right.
Perfect. Now, if this was a line we were going to use, we would attach the other end somewhere on down the line after you've snaked it through the plants, and then it tends to regulate the pressure in that line.
All right.
So that'll drip every 6 inches.
Right.
And if you make a mistake, or if you change your planting and want to take that one out, you just pull it out with a
You can patch it, right?
And this is called a goof plug.
Okay.
Put that in there.
Good as new.
Closes it up.
I love it.
Yep.
All right, Joan giving us all of the hot tips for the hot summer gardening. The tour is happening this Saturday and Sunday. One ticket buys you both days.
Yep.
Tour 10 different beautiful gardens. Wait until you see Joan's garden in the back. It is incredible. This lady knows what she's doing. Sun, soil, and water. That's all you need, really.
Yeah.
Yep, and a gardener.
And to be a gardener.
This is very serious
Patience.
high-tech gardening.
It's impressive though.
It is, Lauren, thank you. All right, 7.
Check it out. I have got a wheelbarrow of fortune mulch. It is more important than you think. We're going to tell you all about that and so much more because it's garden season. That's coming up after the break.
7:42. Welcome back to Fox 21 Local News. Right now, it's time to channel those inner green thumbs. The 2018 Friends of Extension Garden Tour is back this weekend.
Yeah, the show has been a hit and continues to grow each year. So with multiple gardens to see and enjoy, plus tips from master gardeners, this show is one you do not want to miss. And right now, Lauren McDonald, live and local, showing us as mulch as possible this morning.
Oh.
And very excited. Oh, yeah, I did that right there.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
Craig, that was impressive. Let me tell you something. Joan is putting me to work. I feel like I'm back at Mom's house doing my weekend chores here. And that is because we are getting ready for a garden show coming to your home this weekend and 9 other homes as well. And this is the Friends of Extension Garden Tour.
Yes.
You guys do this each year, and each year it gets bigger and better.
Yes.
There's themes for everything. We've talked about drip irrigation. That's the theme here at your house. Now we're talking about mulching, though, and the importance of mulching, right?
Yes.
All right, so tell everybody why mulch is so important.
Mulch is like a blanket for the soil. It keeps the soil moisture in the soil, keeps it from drying out. It can help prevent compaction, which is one of the biggest problems with soil.
Right.
And it also makes the soil a little bit cooler. The plants like it better.
Okay, and you said before this was actually mulched, after you mulched it, your plants perked up a lot.
Yes, they did.
Because of that moisture it holds in there.
Yeah.
So there's different kinds of mulch. I see when I go to Lowe's or Walmart or wherever, there's red mulch, there's brown mulch, there's different textures of mulch.
Yes.
Does it matter?
Kind of depends on what you're trying to achieve. I like the smaller mulch better. It's a little bit harder to find, but what you don't want to do is mix your mulch into the soil. That would be considered an amendment.
Oh, okay.
And many mulches are not going to be appropriate for that.
Okay.
So If you just think about it as a blanket for the top of the soil,
It just depends.
Yeah, if you're going to plant something, move the mulch back and then put your plant in.
And about how often do you have to remulch? Because you know the winter comes, there's snow sitting on it for a while.
Yeah, and there again, it depends on the mulch that you get and where it is. I've had mulch blow away, and then I have to remulch, of course.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to fluff it up with a rake, and it does fine.
So maybe like once every other year, just depending on the winter and
Right, and the size of the mulch. If it's larger, it's going to decompose slower. But again, you want to try to keep it on top of the soil as much as possible.
Right, very nice. All these great tips from Joan. We really appreciate it. You guys can get them too this Saturday and Sunday for the 8th annual Friends of Extension Garden Tour happening right here in Colorado Springs. You're going to want to come get these tips if you want your garden to look like Joan's. Let me tell you, we're going back in the backyard next.
I want to see the back.
What's that? The something garden, the secret garden? Was that a movie? I remember it when I was younger.
It was a book.
It was a book.
I've heard
the movie.
Barry
I didn't
White
read
song,
the book.
The Love Garden. That's a good song. It's a good jam.
There you go. Well, her garden is full of love.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Like Barry White love or
heading
just
back.
like love? Okay. Hey.
Very white love.
Okay.
Thanks, Lauren.
In the garden.
Hey, 746.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. The Friends of Extension Garden Tour is coming up this weekend. And coming up after the break, we got 2 green thumbs up for all the plants. We are live and local with your preview coming up after the break.
Right now, save the date, July 14th and 15th. The Friends of Extension Garden Tour invites you to take in the beauty and learn all you can about gardening.
Yeah, the 2018 Fox Garden Tour is the main source of fundraising for the Friends of Extension organization. And right now, Lauren McDonald, live and local with a preview. Lauren, good morning.
I want you both to take a look at this. We have got lots of pots, but let me tell you something. We ain't got no weeds, that is for sure.
Oh my God.
This is Joan's garden. Take a look, guys. Eat your heart out. This is what you call gardenitis uncontrolious. At least that's what Joan likes to call it, right?
Yeah.
It is beautiful back here, and this is actually one of the stops on the garden tour happening this weekend, put on by Friends of Extension. So right now, you're going to teach me how to pot a plant, right?
Yes, so not all of our garden plants are outside. We can have plants on the inside as well. And this particular plant is called an anthurium. It is normally inside my house. I could keep it out for the summer, but I would have to take it inside for the winter. It's become root bound.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you pot this up into a larger pot.
And you can see it's been, because it's pressed up against the pot.
Yeah, right. It needs a little more room for the roots.
Okay.
So this is a 4-inch pot. We're going to go to one that's about a 5-inch. You don't want to go more than 2 inches bigger.
Okay.
So you put a little screen. This is just a window screen over the hole, so the soil doesn't come out.
And you said it's important to have a pot that drains, right?
Yes, to keep it from
You don't want to
suffocating.
suffocate the plant.
Right.
Okay.
So since it's the same height as the pot, go ahead and just put that in the center.
Okay, and you know what? I always get nervous about taking the plant out of the pot.
Well, I used a little knife to cut around it, so you're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good
so
to know.
it's loose. You just pick it up.
And that's a tip. People can do that.
You can even turn it upside down and hit
Go
the
that
bottom
way,
of
but
it.
you don't want to ever pull it, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure it's loose before
Okay.
you pull it out.
Gotcha.
So stick that in the pot.
Okay.
Now this is soilless potting mix, means it's not made from real soil out of the ground. It's a plant-based potting mix.
Okay.
So now you can start putting that around the sides of the roots.
Okay.
Until
And
it comes up to the top.
So different from regular soil. This is the potting mix that you buy from like a store.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, and you know, when I go to the store, and I'm in a new place, I'm trying to plant, I'm trying to do things that are homely, and you go to the store and there's $10 potting soil, there's $5 potting soil, and then there's $2 potting soil. Does it make a difference?
I think it does, and I just tell people to spend what they can afford.
Okay.
You'll have less woody particles in a more expensive potting mix. It's all plant-based. Sometimes it will have nutrients in it. Potting soil is not a nutrient in itself, but you want to use something light in a container,
All right.
not soil from the ground.
And you say anyone, Joan, can be a gardener, right?
Yes.
Just takes a
yes.
little
and then
patience.
you can add a little water.
Oh, there we go. Topping it off. Okay.
Very good.
I just want to thank you for believing in me. I really appreciate it. Guys, learning all kinds of facts here. And coming up, we're going to get a sneak peek of Joan's tour, because she is one of the stops on this garden tour. You guys going to tell you where to get tickets, and a 2-day tour. So one ticket will get you admission for 2 days. Lots to see, lots to learn. So make sure you stick around, because we got more info coming your way.
We believe in you too, Lauren. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great job. 8:21.
Tick, tack, toe. You want to learn how to get your garden to grow? You better keep watching our show. We are live and local with all of the tips coming up after the break.
Inner Green Thumbs, the 2018 Friends of Extension Garden Tour is back this weekend.
The show has been a hit now since 2011 and continues to grow each year with multiple gardens to see and enjoy, plus tips from master gardeners. And this is a show you will not want to miss. Right now, let's get to Lauren McDonald. She is live and local right now and showing us more. Lauren, good morning.
Got your thumbs? Green thumbs up. That's what we're talking about this morning. We are learning how to garden. All that you need to know, you're going to learn it on this garden tour happening this weekend. I'm here with Joan. You're the organizer of this whole event. So tell everybody kind of what they can expect if they buy a ticket to this.
Every home has a theme, so you're going to learn about mulching, about fertilizing the vegetable garden, sustainable landscaping. My yard is drip irrigation, and we can also talk about rainwater management.
So 10 homes on this tour, like we said, a lot to learn, a lot to see. You're going to give us kind of a little bit of a mini tour of how it's going to work here at your home. We saw the front yard earlier. That's part of it. You guys are going to have to buy a ticket if you want to see everything, because we don't have enough time to show it, but we're going to show a little portion of it right now, right?
Yes, so this is the backyard. Used to have grass down in the lower level, and we've switched that so we can have lots of perennial plants.
And I've been saying it all morning. The thing I love so much about your garden, there's so much detail, even the succulents in the bricks.
Yeah, chicks in a brick. That's what we call that.
I love it.
Yeah, we used to have a playhouse for the grandkids, and now we have a playhouse for me, a little greenhouse there.
There you go. Keep the plants warm in the winter.
Yeah, keep them warm in the winter, keep me gardening in the winter. We've got a few berry bushes back here. I grow Saskatoon and currants, and we've been eating those this morning.
Yeah, delicious, by the way. What are the ones that I like? The sweet ones.
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. And again, we have drip on containers. On the flagstone path, we grow ground cover, so we can walk right across that. We call it a steppable. Over to the right, we've got a bug house. We call it Briggs's Bug House. That's my grandson. And we made that so the insects have a place to go and hide and lay their eggs.
Right.
And his little sister Geneva comes, and we like to look in there and look for bugs.
And another cool thing you'll notice if you come to Joan's garden this weekend, she hides little creepy crawlers everywhere, and that's actually for your grandkids too, because you're teaching them, hey, don't be afraid of the bugs.
Right.
Ask about the bugs, because the bugs are good for the soil, they're good for the garden, right?
They're beneficial.
That's right.
Very much.
Then you do have a little miniature vegetable garden over here, right?
Yes, I have what I can manage here. Some tomatoes. I grow dill for butterflies, herbs. Have it on a drip system as well.
Right.
And then, of course, we have the hail netting, which protects it when we think it's going to hail.
Right. So much to see here in Joan's backyard. You should see her side yard, her front yard. She has got gardens everywhere, and you're going to be able to experience. We're running out of time, but tell everybody real quick what this garden show is going to benefit.
So the money that Fox earns from the show, the garden tour every year, we grant to Colorado State University Extension in El Paso County.
Okay.
And they use it for programs.
Yeah,
there.
Very nice. You guys are giving back. We love it. Local nonprofit here. Make sure you support them. She works for Fox. I work for Fox. Two different Foxes.
That's right.
Friends of Extension. Make sure you get those tickets. $20, 2-day tours. A lot to learn and a lot to see out here. I just have one last thing, not to say, but to sing. Let it grow, let it grow. Plant those plants and let let them grow.
There has been a lot of singing on this show this morning.
There has been, yeah. Would you call it that?
I can't say that any of it's been great.
Her Letter Gray is pretty good.
That was good.
It was much better than Elton John earlier.
We've had some Elton John here, Lauren, that you've missed out on.
I heard. I did hear.
Dogs are howling. All right. Thanks.